What up, YouTube? This video is taken on this Monday morning, November 10th, 2014. Time right now is 7:40 a.m. and I'm driving home from work. And I know I said I wasn't going to make any more driving videos, but I had an update video I wanted to make about my tag light, and I kind of like making driving videos. I positioned the camera in a different spot. Hopefully, maybe it'll the audio of the mufflers won't be as loud with the camera in this spot. But yeah, so if you watch my tag light video, at the end I was a little disappointed with how it wasn't that bright. And also I made the mistake of deciding to calculate my values at 14 volts because I thought that when the battery's charging, the whole system would be 14 volts when the car's running, but it's not. Everything's regulated. So the battery charges at 14 volts, 15 volts, but all your circuits going through your lighting is regulated at 12 volts. So and what made me think of that mindset was earlier in the week I went and helped a co-worker repair his headlight relay. Went out on his motorcycle. His regulator went out first, and then he replaced the regulator and he ran the bike for 30 minutes, and then his battery exploded. He replaced the battery. When he replaced the battery, his headlights didn't work, and he brought this headlight relay module in for us to look at. He just wanted me to see if the module was bad or not. He already priced it out. They were 110 bucks. Well, the module was bad, so I was like, well, since it's bad and you're gonna, worst case scenario, you had to buy a module anyway, let me open it up and see if I can do anything with it. So I opened it up and I was just able to replace the relay. It was a regular circuit board relay, and when that happened, it got me thinking about how he had an overvoltage and it shorted out the coil that's rated at 12 volts. So I had this whole 14 volts in my mind when I calculated the LED, which is stupid. But yeah, so whenever you're calculating circuits like that for cars, it's always 12 volts, unless you're actually dealing with the actual battery. So an update to that motorcycle story is that he told me today that it went out again. His headlights stopped working. So he doesn't know if the regulator he got is bad, or maybe I did a bad repair job. But maybe if I have an opportunity, I'll make an update on that story showing you that module in case any of you have Suzuki motorcycles. But back to the tag light. The tag light so I went back to the drawing board and I calculated using the 220 ohm resistor at 12 volts, not 14 volts. It was biasing the LEDs, the 3 LEDs in series, at 10 milliamps. Now, I don't have the data sheet for those exact LEDs since I got them off of eBay, but I just did a generic search for super bright LEDs, and on SparkFun's website, they sell super bright LEDs, 5mm, and they said they're rated at 20 milliamps. Even though they're super brights, you should still rate them at 20 milliamps. So I went ahead and calculated it out again, and it's just a drop 100 ohms. So 120 ohm resistor gives you 20 milliamps at 12 volts. So I took the assembly out, I put in the 120 ohm resistor, and it did make it a little brighter, but it wasn't like blinding bright like you saw it in the video when I had it hooked up to 20 volts. And then I also rearranged the LEDs. I put two of the LEDs 180 degrees out from each other. Before I tried to have them all equally spaced, you know, your 120 degrees for a triangle. Well, I put two LEDs 180 degrees out from each other, and I was trying to turn them so they were all facing in the same direction, but you can't fit it into that housing like that. And then the one LED, the center LED, I put it in the center, and I had it set up so that when it's in the socket, it would be shining straight down. And then I also went and ended up having to twist that center LED straight up. Not straight up, probably like oh, I just missed this light. Probably like a 60-degree angle, you know, pointed up. Because when it was in that housing, all the LEDs, they weren't shining out through the lens. So now with that one LED pointed up, it's shining out straight through the lens, and then I have two LEDs, you know, hitting the reflectors. And it is brighter than what it was when I had the 220 ohm resistor in it. So I was telling my dad about this, and my dad's like, you know that bulb's $1.50 at Walmart. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then I was at work, I was talking about it, and they're like, oh, why don't you just go out and buy a bulb? So yeah, it would be a lot easier to buy a bulb, but all the parts I used, I had in my stock from previous projects, so I didn't have to buy any parts. And now I got it bright enough that I don't think a cop would pull me over saying that it was too dim. You can read the license plate just fine. It's not bright like the original LED bulb I bought. That was super bright. But the one thing, those LEDs, the flat surface mounted LEDs, and I've seen this not just in that bulb, but other bulbs, those LEDs are crap. When you think of LEDs, people think about how the indicator LEDs, you know, your typical 5mm LED, never burns out. So you think, oh, LED will go in there, it'll never burn out. But I'm telling you, I'm not a big fan. I think they're called Cree LEDs, C-R-E-E. I don't know if that's a name brand, but if you go and search eBay, they always say, oh, it has a Cree LED in it. They just don't last. You know, they flash like you were seeing in the video. They just started flashing, and there was no circuitry in that video except for one current limiting resistor. So, you know, when you think of LEDs and you think of reliability nowadays with these new high power LEDs, you just can't automatically assume they're going to last forever. But the LEDs I have in there, I have them biased at 20 milliamps. Biasing them at 20 milliamps, I'm not overheating them at all, you know, not running them hard. It'll never, I guarantee you, it'll never burn out. The only way that it would burn out is if my solder connections didn't hold up, didn't last. So it's gonna probably last the length of the car, unless the cop pulls me over and says, oh, your tag light is dim, which I got pulled over once for my tag light being out, and I only got a warning. So if I get pulled over for my tag light being dim, hopefully I'll just get a warning, and then I'll go and put an incandescent in. But that's what I wanted to ramble on about this morning, you know, on my drive home. So oh yeah, and I also want to say I hit over 700 subscribers this week, which is insane to think that I have over 700 people subscribed to me, even though I average around 25 views per video when it first gets released. But thanks for subscribing if you're a subscriber, and thanks for you know, watching my channel. Hopefully this driving video, having the camera here, you can hear my voice a lot better. But I just wanted to ramble on about my LED project and tell you what I ended up doing after the video was made. So see ya.